This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
There's just one place where you can take $10,000 off the 2025 Acura MDX. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 88 3080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to selling your home, efficiency is the best way, the less stress way. That's why Asmani Garcia and the Omega Home Realty Group is who you want to call. Sell your home for just $990. That's right, $990. No 6% commission. Asmani and Omega are the exclusive program director for just $990 in South Florida. Get full service real estate services like pro photos, beautiful brochures, Zillow and Alex, Realtor.com and Homes.com listings. Call Asmani to find out more at 305-440-1990. Scan the QR code or visit just990.com to get started. Omega Home Realty Group and Asmani Garcia are ready to present your home to thousands of prospective buyers. Call 305-440-1990. Call Asmani Garcia and tell him Big O sent you.
There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll. And we are here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, baby. We promised you. We told you. Be out here now the final Wednesdays of the month. We're at 16100 Pines Boulevard. Come on out here and join us. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. The man, the myth, the legend, that is Sean Stanley by my side. It was a fun night last night, man. That was fun to see. That was, we talked about it yesterday that we want to see the Heat have a spine. And last night they showed a spine. And they took down Jimmy Butler and the Warriors. And what I loved was that Steph didn't play. So it kind of exposed what it was. And the dude scored 11 points. He ends up on the bench at the end because he couldn't do anything, couldn't stop it because he wasn't good enough to carry a team. You know what I'm saying? And so it's nice to see that he couldn't carry Steph's team over against a really bad Heat team that's 31-41. And by the way, the Warrior-led team by Butler just got smoked by Atlanta on Saturday and smoked by the Heat last night. So Steph Curry better hurry back. That was fun last night. That was fun. You know, I know the Heat aren't going anywhere, and you know they've got their own issues, obviously. But it was nice to see Bam. Khalil Ware probably made the play of the year last night. He gets the shot deflected. He still is able to recapture the ball, and then a little English off glass and everything to make it. That was like the play of the year, the block. It was beautiful. I mean, it was a lot of fun last night to watch. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see you guys exact a little revenge. This guy quit on this team for the last 2.5 years. He didn't try at all during the regular season. And he wasn't trying at all this season. And he pretty much helped ruin this season. So I'm glad that they sent the message, that, hey, there you go. And I'm glad that Steph didn't play because it exposes well, at least we've been saying on this show for a couple of years now, but that's a whole different ballgame. Everybody else is on our bandwagon now. Okay. But, to me, I'm a big karma guy. And if you spread good karma and you give good karma to people, you're going to get it back. But if you're going to spread bad karma, well, the reverse is going to happen to you. LeBron James pops around all over the league and leaving one place after another. And where was his pinnacle of his career? Right here. Jimmy Butler. He can bounce around and get traded and fight with everybody. Where was the pinnacle of his career? Right here. So that's what I know. Chris Bosh. Where was the pinnacle of his career? Right here. Alonzo Mourning. Where was the pinnacle of his career? Right here. I mean, that's what happens to most players when they come here. They reach their pinnacle because the team provides the foundation for the player to reach its pinnacle. So Jimmy Butler's not going to win any titles in Golden State. He's not even going to get to the finals in Golden State like he did here in Miami. So as much as you may want to credit LeBron, which you have to, as much as you want to credit Jimmy, which you have to, ultimately you have to credit the Miami Heat Foundation, right? Because that's what allows players to maximize their potential. The culture. And the culture was, hey, last night, a team with no stars beat a team with one star, right? Because Draymond Green's not a star, but Jimmy Butler, right, is a star. Well, Tyler's not a star. Bam's not a star. They're not considered stars. Jimmy was the star here, right? Well, the star was on the other team. Why didn't the star win last night? The star wasn't on Miami's team last night. Were there any stars on Miami's team last night? No. But they starred. Bam had 27 points, 8 rebounds, and a block. Tyler had 20 points. Hell, Alec Burks starred from three-point range. 5 of 7 from three-point range, 17 points. Where? 14 points, 10 rebounds, and a block. You know what's really funny? The two guys that were part of this trade combined for 21 points. Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. The Heat were playing for Wiggins, right? Yeah. Yeah. And boy, Draymond. Oh, the block. Oh, the dunk. Yes. Yeah. The Bam dunk on Butler. That was beautiful. I mean, it was just pure karma last night. Everything about last night was pure karma because Jimmy Butler is nothing but a phony piece of crap. This is a guy that wasn't trying. Okay? That's like somebody walking in here and not doing their jobs here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines and then getting a check. No, that's not how it goes in any job. Go to Chipotle, work anywhere. You need to work to get a check. The guy was pulling a check without trying throughout the regular season for 2.5 years. The biggest check, too. That's right. Great point on your part. The biggest check on the team, and the guy was the biggest loafer on the team. Not that anybody loafs around in the Heat. It's only him. There's no loafing in the Heat organization, but he was king loafer. So last night was just a culmination of karma. Bam stuck it to Jimmy. Tyler stuck it to Jimmy. Pat Riley stuck it to Jimmy. The fans stuck it to Jimmy. And by the way, congratulations to all the fans in the building that booed. Those of you that cheered, you're weak, you're soft, you're pathetic. Just want you to know. If you cheered Jimmy last night in that arena, you're soft, you're pathetic. That guy doesn't deserve any cheers. Okay? Miami provided him the foundation to have the greatest success of his life. He should be grateful. Miami provided a ton of money for him. He should be grateful. Miami was the only team that really wanted him at that moment. He should be grateful. Okay? And he'll never have the success he had the last 5 years. He should be grateful. So there aren't a lot of players that leave and they're better off because they left. Just really doesn't happen much. I could argue that if LeBron stays, they probably win more than the 2 titles he's won. Because the 2 titles he's won, he needed flukish stuff. He needed a suspension from Draymond in that first one. And in the second one, he needed the injuries in the bubble to Bam and to Goran. Nothing flukish about the ones he won here. Just saying, last night was just a sweet ass pie that we enjoyed as Heat fans. And the organization also gets a little, listen, the season's been a disaster. It is what it is. The decisions the front office has made at times over the last few years has not been good. I get it all. But last night, their organization, their culture is what got is the one that won last night. Because it proved it. I mean, he's the star, right? And it was his team that was in town. Okay, well, you're playing the team you left that has no stars now. Well, math says if you're the star, you should lead your team to a victory, and you scored 11 points. It's fantastic. The only thing I needed was a clothesline of him coming through the lane. That's all I needed. If I could have gotten that, then, what was the name of that guy that the Heat brought off the bench once to clothesline Rondo? Big guy. You remember that? So somebody got to remember that name. It was like with a W, I want to say. Something like that. Or huh? No, it wasn't Whiteside. It was another guy that was like a lower level player that barely played. But Pittman. That's it. Oh, look, MM has Pittman. Nice job by you. Pittman. What was his first name? It was Pittman. So they brought him in and he clotheslined Rondo. Remember that? That's the only thing I needed last night to complete everything. Jimmy coming through the lane and just have somebody just clothesline him. Dexter Pittman. That's it. Dexter Pittman. That's all I needed last night. You should have signed. In fact, they should have brought back Dexter Pittman on a 10-day contract. Okay? He's like 42 right now, but it don't matter. Dexter, we just need your forearm. That's all. His forearm probably has another 5 pounds of weight now that he's in his 40s. He's playing overseas? Bro, I would have paid for the ticket. I would have played for, you're gonna clothesline. I'll pay for the airline ticket. Let's go. Where's he playing? What's it called? The Venezuela League? Yes. Wow. Before that, he was with what are they called? The Oilers? The Dirty Oil? He was in the Saudi League? Oh, man. Wow. Oh, he's perfect for forearming. Oh, forearm shiver. This guy's in the Venezuela and the Saudi League. This is nasty. How old is Dexter Pittman right now? 2010, 15 years ago. I was right. He's 40. He's close to 38. 37. Dexter Pittman. That's the only thing we needed last night. Dexter Pittman on a 10-day contract fresh out of Europe. People are going, why are they signing Dexter Pittman at 38 years old? What are they doing? And then last night, clothesline. Oh, that's what they're doing. Oh, I like it. And then what we do is we then raise Pittman's jersey to the rafters and we send him back to Venezuela. I mean, listen, we retire anybody's number here anyway. So if we bring back Dexter Pittman on a 10-day contract, he clotheslines Jimmy Butler, I am putting his jersey in the rafters. You got to admit that's a good idea. It's a good idea. How much? 3.2 points? 2.3 points. See, he's averaging 2.3 points by I only need one forearm. So it's a beautiful thing. 38-year-old forearm. Whack. Would have been beautiful, bro. Beautiful. But last night was just one of those things. It was just fun to watch. Just absolutely fun to watch. Stick it to stinking Jimmy Butler. I love it, dude. I love it. By the way, congratulations to Nova Southeastern University. We all assumed they would beat Assumption University, and that's exactly what they did, 102 to 93. They will now take on Washburn University the 5th-ranked team in the country, 4th seed in the tournament, and that'll be on Thursday at 9:30. So congratulations to the Miami Heat. Congratulations to Nova Southeastern getting to the Final Four of the Division II championship. They are 2 wins away from winning it all again, dude. That is just amazing. Jim Crutchfield has done an outstanding job. So that is good stuff there. So a lot of good basketball vibes last night for our South Florida team, which I absolutely love, dude. That was just absolutely fantastic. Remember, as always, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And of course, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that, especially on a nice little dip. We always appreciate those donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you, as always. What do we have here? Where is Bitcoin right now? Just to have a little fun. We are at 86,000, I think it says here. 86,652. So we've been somewhere in the neighborhood of 86 and 88,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, bouncing up and down on that part. I was hoping that maybe it's actually 86,837 right now is the accurate one, because I just pulled it up on Coinbase. And as for the markets, by the way, the Dow is down 52 points, the S&P is down 50 points, and the Nasdaq is down about a quarter point. All right, so that's what we got going on in the markets. Appreciate you all as always. Don't forget the Big Cheese, great sponsor of ours. We unfortunately just lost Billy, the one of the original owners. Obviously, with Gary and Billy, they created the Big Cheese over 40 years ago, and Billy's vision has been alive and well for over 40 years. And if you're a fan, the walls of the Big Cheese are a Hall of Fame. That alone is worth the trip. Seriously, you just got to go check it out. Go to bigcheesemiami.com. They're at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, 305-662-6855. All dishes, by the way, they're available. You can get them with meat sauce, tomato sauce, Alfredo sauce, pink sauce. Service is amazing. The garlic rolls are to die for. And they bring out the pizza sauce on the side so you can dip the garlic rolls also in the pizza sauce. Oh, so addicting, man. So visit our friends at bigcheesemiami.com. And by the way, party platters are also very popular. If you're going to have a get-together with your friends, family members, coworkers, whatever it is, you can order party platters also at bigcheesemiami.com. All right. Let me see what we got here. A little roll call. Jonathan Cagle is number 1. NorCal is in. Alexis Palenzuela. Jay Gelfin is in. Nice. Let's see. And Joseph says that was the best effort I've seen from the Miami Heat all season. No, I think you're phrasing it wrong there, Joseph. I think they've had effort. It was their precision. It was their execution. The fact that they didn't fold after having a lead. That even when they made a little bit of a run, okay, you cut it to 10, you cut it to 8. Okay, we're pushing back, and that's not what they had done before. Effort has never been an issue. The effort was only the problem when the other guy was on the team. Okay, that's when effort was a problem. So that's where I would rephrase what you're saying. I don't even think you even meant what you said. Because when you think about it, it's not about effort. It's about execution. It's about precision. It's about the timing. It's about the stupid turnovers. You eliminated them last night. I don't know how many they had last night, but it wasn't like a ridiculous amount. You did the smart things. You played with each other very well. There was a chemistry. You found the open guy. The open guy hit the basket. That was good. That was good. Ray Sosa is in. Stephen Harris.
What else? NorCal, Brian Radke, Jeff in Long Island, One-Eyed Jack. It's snowing in Pennsylvania. Well, move to South Florida, baby. Come on down. Join us. Ray Sosa says that was heat culture on full display last night. Amen to that. I mean, the team with no star won against the team with a star, right? They have the star. Reggie Miller was bragging about how much, Jimmy Butler was the star, the difference maker. Well, I don't know. The difference maker last night was Bam Adebayo, was Alec Burke, was Khalil Ware, was Tyler Hero. I saw those. Those were difference makers to me last night, right? I don't know about you. You saw the same thing, right? Okay. I'm just checking. Oh, he culture's dead. Okay. Just because it's not a good team, he culture's dead. Culture and the talent has one and the other have nothing to do with each other, Anyway, man of 1,005 holes. Hi to you. Ty in the Bronx. Cactus Rider. Juan Rosa. Yes. Oh, Jimmy Butler will end heat culture. That's funny. And God forbid if Jimmy ever needed a job in the NBA besides selling coffee and teams part ways because he's a liability. The Heat's organization is the only place who would probably take his ass. Not anymore. Quantum Vortex. Jimmy got his Butler kicked. I like it. Man of 1,005 holes. Captain Saki. Suds. John Padilla checking in. Jaffrard. Carry on my wayward son. Cool t-shirt. One of the best concerts I've ever attended. Yeah, this is actually from the Monolith tour. And not a real shirt from the Monolith tour, but this is and maybe my favorite Kansas song, People of the Southwind, is actually from this album. And so I'm a big, obviously a big Kansas fan as it is. And it's great to hear that Ronnie Platt and the surgery and everything went well and he's recovering. But I got this. I did get this at a Kansas concert, but it wasn't the Monolith tour from back in the day at the Hollywood Sportatorium. I just got it because I said, I love this album and I love the album cover, and Kansas has some of the best album covers. So yes, and People of the Southwind is just, man, love that freaking song. Let's see. Rosendo, Skylar Tipton, Dad Dean, man of 1,005 holds. I want to be a little fly so I could see Pat Riley's response in his room. Oh, Pat had a double shot of whatever fine bourbon, whiskey. I'm not exactly sure what Pat drinks or if he even drinks. You know what I mean? I know he used to smoke. I don't even know if he smokes anymore. And he used to smoke like a chimney. So I tell you a little story. This is Miami Arena. Okay, so we're in the Miami Arena. And game's over. So in the Miami Arena, when the game would be over and the media would be waiting to go into the locker rooms, where the court ended on the west side of the court, okay, there you would go out and into the hallway and then the back hallways. The right, it would go to the locker rooms. To the left, it would be other rooms. We weren't allowed to go to those other rooms and offices or whatever there were back there. We have no idea what was there. We could only go to the right and go to the different locker rooms, right? But there was a rope before we were able to go into that hallway. We come out of the court, walk into that hallway before we go into the long hallway that goes adjacent with the court and around the arena, if you understand what I'm saying. So after every game, Pat Riley would go he would go first, talk to the players, right? No, my bad. First, he would go to the room to the left. Then he would come out of the room and go talk to the players. And we were like, at first when I saw that, I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Right? And he walks out of it, and as he comes by me, and I'm one of the first in line, I smell just this whiff of nicotine that comes by, right? And so what he was doing was he was smoking a cigarette in the back room, probably thinking about what he was going to tell his team. They were undressing, cooling down after a win, a loss, whatever the hell it was. And so you think about the man who is always playing chess with his with mind games, you know what I mean? And this is why I say Spo is the better coach, because Spo is the better X's and O's coach. Riley was a motivator. See, Spo will never be the motivator Riley is, right? And Riley will never be the X's and O's genius that Spo is. It's kind of like it's really two different kinds of coaches, to be quite honest. And Spo is better built for this era because there's so many changes in this era. He's so good at changing, where Riley kind of stayed with one style of basketball throughout his career. You know what I mean? Doesn't take away from his greatness. Warren Buffett doesn't need Bitcoin to succeed. You get what I'm saying? If it works for you, it works for you. You know what I'm saying? He can crap on Bitcoin all he wants because he makes money the way he's always made money. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it works. So Riley is going to the room to smoke a cigarette, and he's kind of thinking about what he's going to say. And then as he goes by, he's just like, he's leaving this stank of nicotine. So I learn over time that that's what he does. He goes to smoke his cigarette, and then he goes talk to the team. And then when he's done with the team, then we're allowed to go into the locker room. You know? So just an interesting and, a dynamic that will never die. As long as Riley is around, the culture will be around, and you're not going to fold. And last night, they showed a spine, and I was happy about that. I was happy for them, because the Atlanta win doesn't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? After you've lost 10 in a row and you beat Atlanta, I'm not impressed. But at least last night, that was a whole different ballgame. So I gotta give them credit last night for what they did. By the way, I do want to remind you that the folks at Cutter's Edge Pro are proud sponsors of our program. William Quigley and the folks do an amazing job, folks. And if you are looking for landscaping for your home, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, they've got like over 70 trucks or some ridiculous number. Don't quote me on it or anything like that, but it's like just a stupid number. That's why you see the trucks everywhere. And whether it's your business, whether it's your home, landscaping can take your value of your home, your property to another level. And on top of all of that, it also helps, cools down your backyard, all of those kind of things. It's a beautiful thing, man. It makes your life a lot easier. We created an oasis in our backyard, and now it's been over 3 years, and everything has grown. And it's like now when the sun is at its peak, like 60 to 70% of my backyard is being covered by all of those trees. And that becomes even better. And it's going to get better and better as the years go on, because more and more of the backyard will be covered. And then all of a sudden now, you've got a much more comfortable backyard, even on hot days, because with all the trees and everything, you're 10, 15 degrees cooler, and you're able to hang out a little bit more outside. It's a really cool thing. You pay for the entire home. You might as well enjoy the entire home, including the backyard. Call our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro, 954-472-0622. Give me a break. Give me 2 minutes. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show, live from Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
When it comes to selling your home, efficiency is the best way, the less stress way. That's why Asmani Garcia and the Omega Home Realty Group is who you want to call. Sell your home for just $990. That's right, $990. No 6% commission. Asmani and Omega are the exclusive program director for just $990 in South Florida. Get full service real estate services like pro photos, beautiful brochures, Zillow and Alex, Realtor.com and Homes.com listings. Call Osmani to find out more at 305-440-1990. Scan the QR code or visit just990.com to get started. Omega Home Realty Group and Osmani Garcia are ready to present your home to thousands of prospective buyers. Call 305-440-1990. Call Osmani Garcia and tell him Big O sent you.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody-S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody-S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody-S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru. Rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. I gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue to cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. We are back, baby, at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Come on by and say hi. Number one in Consumer Reports. So, you know, when you talk about reliability, you are going to get one with a Subaru, and the cars are looking very, very sharp. Yes. Brian goes, later today, working me, well, you know, it depends. If, you know, wherever we're at, some sponsors want us on later than others. Well, I was with a sponsor yesterday where Sean and I are going to be doing night shows coming up. So there's some night shows coming up, actually. So we could be working shortly with a what's it called? With a soccer team. So looking forward to that. Hopefully everything went really well yesterday. So that's going to be fun. Might be seeing us do some pregame stuff and stuff. So good stuff. We'll have some fun with it. Let's see. Thank you, Big O. People talk about playoff Jimmy. No one said that before Miami. He had great players in other teams and couldn't get past the second round. Yeah, I mean, listen, I am grateful for the era of Jimmy Butler, but I am more grateful for the era of Pat Riley. The Jimmy Butler era is a chapter in the Pat Riley book. Are we clear on this? There's a Pat Riley book, and it's bigger and thicker than War and Peace. Okay? So Jimmy Butler is just a chapter inside a big, thick book of championship and winning and great culture of Pat Riley. Why do you think I'll tell you that Pat's not doing a good enough job the last few years. I'll say it. But you'll never hear me say that he needs to leave or step down or not. No, Riles has got to fix this. Got to find a way to fix it. He hasn't been doing a good enough job. But I'm not. The reason why I've enjoyed 25 plus years of basketball with the Miami Heat is because of that dude. So the reason why Jimmy Butler had the greatest success of his life because of that dude. He's the guy that created the coach we have. Like, what do you want? I mean, so I love when people try to spin it like Jimmy Butler is the franchise. No, dude, no. Pat Riley's the franchise. Jimmy Butler is just a chapter in Pat Riley's franchise. That's all. And guess what? Whiteside and was it Johnson and Johnson and Waiters, and they have a little chapter too, going 31-10 in a second half. Everybody's got a little chapter, dude. Anthony Mason came here and helped him out in a crunch, and then he got all bent out of shape. It's his fault. Whatever. But they're all squirrels trying to just get a nut in Pat Riley's world. That's the way I look at it. Okay? I know what the Heat is. I know what they are as a franchise. And I know where they're at right now, which is not a good place. But, hey, man, you got to take the bad with the good. When you get married, right? Or you get in business and you run a business or you have a marriage or whatever, any kind of relationship, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. And you've got, and what carries you is your passion or your love for it all through the ups and downs. It's kind of what it's all about, dude. And some people are there for the ride all the way through. Years ago when we're having the issues with LeBron James, it's, he said, remember, it's really easy to go find the door or whatever, that line. And, when things get tough, smiling faces, hidden agendas. That's the guy's here for the tough times. The guy's here for the good times. He came here and he took over a franchise that wasn't anything, hasn't accomplished jack. And then it's accomplished everything since. He created this culture. And in the process, he's made it the best for a lot of these players. Alonzo Mourning had his best years here, and so did Tim Hardaway and Wade and LeBron and Bosh and Jimmy Butler and a slew of other role players enjoyed their greatest success here. Okay? Jason Williams was a problem everywhere else, and he came here and won a title. And I know because I was in the locker room with the champagne pouring, and I told you the story, Jason Williams screaming, they said I was a problem. They said I was a problem. He wanted to vent because in this franchise, he was able to find his way, like a lot of players. So, Jimmy Butler can kiss my ass. I got Pat Riley's back. Okay? That's all. Does he got to fix this? Yeah, he's got to fix this. But I got Pat Riley's back. Way more than I will ever have Jimmy Butler's back. In fact, I'm the guy who wanted to trade him 3 years ago. So, So it is what it is. What are you going to do? Anyway, we're out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, by the way. 16100 Pines Boulevard. And we'll be out here every month now. Come on out here and join us. And Juan Carbonell now is going to join us, by the way. And he is a product specialist out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
You got him on there? I like it. I like it. Juan, how you doing, baby? You feeling good?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. How about yourself?
Good, man. Can't complain.
A bit of an echo there, Sean. Okay. All right. Now we got it. Okay. There we go, man. All right. So how you feeling today, bro?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, you're ready to rock. I like that. Well, I'm rocking already. You know, with a little Kansas action here. What's your favorite rock band?
Nirvana.
Nirvana. Nice.
That's a classic. Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, but Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice. Have you ever seen them live?
Oh yeah, saw them in Rome.
Wow,
right
nice.
outside the Coliseum.
Nice. Well, you're an Italian soccer fan, so
Forza Roma.
Yes, exactly. So, Flea alone is worth the entrance of the ticket. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
All I got to do is watch Flea play the bass for the Chili Peppers, and I'm good, dude. It's like when I used to go see Van Halen. Obviously, I'm seeing Van Halen. It's great, but just watching Eddie alone was just like, okay, I'm good. That's all I need to see. Really, I'm getting everything else. For me, the Chili Peppers are like that. Once I see Flea, he's one of the greatest bass players I've ever seen in my life. He's just
that
amazing.
whole energy rocked the crowd.
Yeah.
And they had a sold out concert.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
People were standing outside of the Coliseum watching it.
Yeah. That is a bucket list for me, is to go to a rock concert in Central or South America, because I've been dying to do that. Because every time I see a rock concert in Central or South America, it's like a soccer game, like a football game. You know, the passion is the same, dude. It's crazy.
Football game out in Europe, the whole crowd is cheering. They don't have cheerleaders. It's the fans who are cheering, and you could feel the same rumble. The seats are just rumbling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freaking amazing, man. All right, so we've been talking about Subaru now being out here, and I was thinking about this. I'm going to run this by you, see if you can pick up on this. Subaru, Volvo, Prius, New Balance, Skechers.
Sure.
They got something in common.
Yeah, definitely. All conservative brands that had to adapt with times and the whole new defining image.
Because you look at a Volvo now, and it's sportier looking,
pretty stylish.
Now you look also here at Subaru. I mean, I love the Solterra. At the end of the year, I got to get a car,
right?
And I'm thinking SUV, because I'm thinking more SUV now than cars, only because, dude, living here, the rain and the floods and all that, I just want to get a little bit more elevated. And so I've always had cars all my life, but I'm going to get an SUV, and Solterra is one of them. And why am I looking at the Solterra? Freaking sharp, dude. It's a beautiful car. And so you look at the Prius. You know, we do shows at Toyota at Toyota of Hollywood. And I was talking with Herbie the other day about that. I go, the Prius was a boxy little geeky car. Now it's a sports car. Sure. New Balance and Skechers were old man shoes. Now you look at them and they're hip, they're cool. The athletes are now signing left and right with New Balance, that you would have never thought of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting how some of these companies, including Subaru, said, we got to make a little change.
Sure.
And you've been with Subaru for a long time.
Listening to what the audience is asking for and giving them what they want. So they're adapting with times. The Solterra is a beautiful car inside and out. But if you're looking for SUV, all of our SUVs are all-wheel drive.
Right.
Definitely safety is number one of the number one pillars here in Subaru.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why Subaru just dominates, obviously, and especially with Consumer
Reports rated number one this year.
Yeah, that is awesome. Tell us a little bit about some of the stuff going on. You guys got a huge inventory on Crosstex going on right now.
Sure. Well, we are one of South Florida's number one volume store, so we got tons of Crosstrex, all trim levels, colors. So we got tons of options available. Not just that, the Crosstrex, the Foresters, brand new redesign, 2025 just came out. Beautiful inside and out. Not just that, it rides really smooth, quiet transmission. Wonderful ride.
Yeah, Crosstech is, and sharp again too. That's the other thing that I love about the Crosstech. Explain to us a little bit the WRX also, and the programs and everything involved, because some people might be very interested in that one too.
Sure. Well, if you're looking to purchase, we got very competitive interest rates, low interest rates going on right now. WRX are just flying off the shelves. And we just got a brand new limited edition 1 out of 500 Galaxy Purple. Beautiful car.
Comes fully spec'd out, Brembo brakes, Recaro seatings. I mean, it's a beautiful ride and definitely handles.
And-
Lives up to the name.
And the program's tied to it, lease features?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Can you give us a couple lease features so they know?
Couple lease features. Well, definitely depending on credit, 0 down, and between the 300 to 400 payments. Obviously, for the special edition, a little bit more because that's on the higher level on the TS.
Yeah, the TS is a beautiful one too. All right. The other thing that we wanted to talk about was the Forester.
Right, as I mentioned, the Forest is brand new, redesigned. It just running about 40% quieter in the cabin. They seem to spec it out with a special lining that they utilize at the music recording studios. Very quiet ride, not a lot of cabin noise. They took out 2 horsepowers, but surprisingly made the transmission so much smoother. Oh, it drives like a cloud.
Okay.
Very nice handling. It's fully decked out. Wireless CarPlay, audio, Android Auto. You got full integration in there. Wireless chargers, and of course, all the safety features.
Okay. All right. Juan, tell people about yourself. So if anybody wants to come out here to Subaru Pembroke Pines, they can reach out to you, and how can they maybe even set up an appointment with you, man?
Sure. My name is Juan Carbonell, Subaru Pembroke Pines. You can call me at 305-850-4522. I'm here practically always. If not, feel free to contact me directly on my cell phone, 305-850-4522.
And by the way, what you're going to love about Juan is he's been at this for a long time. Your dad, rest in peace, was in Subaru for a long time,
Sure.
too.
I mean, when we came into this country, I was helping my father move cars before I got a driver's license. So driving stick was my first car, and moving cars up and down the lot. So I've been in the industry for quite some time. My brother's in the industry as well. And yes, my father was a loved man. He was a general manager at Subaru Burr Road in Miami. I know that the fans are asking about a Subaru store down in Miami because there hasn't been one since Burr Road closed. I'm happy to announce that we are actually in a process. We already broke grounds of building a store out in Kendall.
Really?
So we'll be.
Where is it at in Kendall? I live in Kendall. Where's it at?
It's at Miami Airport.
Oh, okay.
Sure, in West Kendall.
All right.
All right. We'll have one of the biggest stores all of Florida for the Subaru brand. So that's something very exciting coming up in the works.
So we might be doing shows there.
Oh, yes, definitely. It'll be a beautiful establishment.
Oh, so this one will move there, is what it is.
No, we're gonna keep.
We're gonna have that. So we're gonna have 2 locations.
The
Okay.
Craig's Inn Automotive Group is
Right.
also building another location.
That is awesome. That's fantastic. And what you don't know is there's a Five Guys right across the street. Am I right or am I right? Huh? Now, is it London Shopping Center or something? That's. I'm just saying. Huh? There's a Five Guys right here also. That's right.
I'm more of a hole in the wall type of guy.
Yeah.
I like the local brand.
Oh yeah, Hole in the Wall is actually a good place, dude. Yeah.
And of course Flanagan's.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I love Flanagan's. God, I was at Flanagan's. What was it, about a week ago? I was at Flanagan's having a dolphin sandwich.
Joe's meal.
The wife was having the wife was having the rack of ribs. So half rack, obviously, because that whole rack is that's a lot of ribs, dude.
A lot of food, yeah.
That's a lot of
and those
ribs.
garlic rolls, delicious.
Yeah. So hey, if you come on out here to Subaru Pembroke Pines, check out my guy Juan. Juan, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you immensely.
Appreciate you. Thanks for
we'll
coming
catch up
by.
next month, man. You got it. Juan Carbonell from Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Reach out to Juan. He gave you the number and everything. So if you want to make an appointment with them, tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Appreciate you all out there as always. Thank you. Let's see. Are the Florida Panthers going to win back-to-back? I hope so. Why not? They can definitely do it, and they're going to get healthy at the right time. And they're absolutely loaded, so they definitely can do it. I think Blue Dodgers is checking in from foggy LA, and it's foggy because he's stoned, apparently. Let's see. Quantum Vortex says Jimmy only reached the second round once in his entire career before the Heat. That's right, sir. Big O, do you think the Heat give LeBron a huge statue right in front? No. The only people that deserve a statue up front is Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade, Mickey Harrison, Alonzo Mourning, and Udonis Haslem. And normally you wouldn't put a Udonis Haslem out there, but I'd put him out there. And that's it. I'm not doing anybody else. You go with that? Anybody else you'd add? Or not add out of that list?
No, I would definitely add Udonis, but I would have him seated on a chair, like the 15th chair on the bench.
Oh, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. But yeah, no statue for him. No soup for him. No statue for him. No statue for you. Let's see. Pat is the Don, the Godfather, the Czar of the Heat Nation. Hell yeah. Cactus Rider agrees with Guns N' Roses and Nirvana with my man there, Juan. My first concert, Lollapalooza 92, headlined by Red Hot Chili Peppers. The next day, Hurricane Andrew. Talk about highs and lows. Wow, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one. Jimmy at the scoring table, shaking hands with the whole world except the one person who signed his checks. Yeah. Big O, not a Toyota guy, but the new Prius looks badass. Yeah, I mean, the new Prius is beautiful, dude. Beautiful sports car. Beautiful car, bro. I mean, it's always been a great car because it gets like 550, 600 miles to the tank, So when you're getting 50, 55 miles to the gallon, I mean, that's a great vehicle, but it was kind of boxy, right? It wasn't a pretty vehicle. And now it's super sharp. So yeah. And that's what I love about the entire line of Subaru nowadays. Subaru was kind of a very conservative car, and now it looks really, really cool. They got a lot of cool vehicles. And again, the Solterras, telling you, I may have one at the end of the year. What are you going to say?
I'm saying they actually look sporty now. They're just a sports car. Now they actually look.
Yeah,
they look the part.
That's why I thought about all those labels, Volvo, Subaru, Prius, New Balance, Skechers, all kind of had a conservative approach to things. They were all successful with their conservative approach, but they all felt like they had to make a change. And now it's taken all their companies to another level, because you always had a great car. So now you make it look even better. Boom. That's all. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. NorCal says, my first concert was GNR opening up for Iron Maiden, and he hates Axl. Let's see. NorCal says, Subaru model, inexpensive and built to stay that way. Yeah, they are not expensive cars, and they're not going to cost you a ton of money to maintain. It's just a beautiful combination. It really is. Prius used to look uglier. Even remember the first Prius. Oh yeah. No, I remember. And that's what, you got to give people credit when they're, adjusting. The USL Fort Lauderdale United for men's soccer team coming soon. Yes, I do know that. I know about that. I knew about it before it happened. I knew about the promotion relegation before it even happened. I just couldn't talk about it, but I knew all about it.
You missed Ariel's other question before that. He said, Big O, have a soccer question.
Oh,
I don't know if you know, but a few weeks ago, the USL wants to implement Pro Rel in 2027.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? Also, Fort Lauderdale might have a men's USL team.
Yeah. There's already.
I don't know if you heard me chuckle a little bit, but I started chuckling when I read it.
Did you did the rant on the Pro Rel thing that I did earlier this week?
I had not put it out.
Oh, okay.
I did not put that out. I mean, it's on of course, everything's on the audio side.
Yeah, it's all there. I already talked about the Pro Rel stuff and how it's fantastic, actually. Very un-American, because we don't do things like that, but it's fantastic. It's awesome. So yeah, and we're getting the men's team, and
I will add that on there today. Usually I do more Dolphins stuff, but I'll add the Pro Rel.
Yeah.
All
I can tell you is don't be surprised if we're a part of it. That's all I can say. We're getting Pro, not Rel. We're getting pro, not rel. That's for damn sure. Remember, folks, you can help us go to Spain too. There is the QR code. You can make a donation. Any kind of donation can help us, of course. We are waiting for them to make that announcement, but before that, we got to start, getting there. So, if you can help us get there, we're going to do the show live, and we want to do the show live in Spain all week long. Cover any of the Dolphin events, break any Dolphin news, and then do our pre and post game show. And we'll be doing it, I'm sure, with a lot of fans from Spain at a bar somewhere, where NorCal has already hooked me up, which is amazing. So good stuff. So if you can make a donation, we appreciate it. Anything that you can do would be greatly appreciated. Subaru is great company. WRX was a very sporty car, and it holds its value. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because they're fantastic cars. There you go. I remember seeing the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and I think you were the stadium announcer. Yes, I was the stadium announcer for the Miami Fusion, for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and the Miami FC. But I am not doing anything with any of the other soccer teams in that sense of stadium announcing. That those days are done for me. But yeah, that was fun. I even did it for U.S. Soccer in the Orange Bowl also. And it was very uncomfortable working with those tight asses. Anyways, let's go. Hour number 2, David Furones takes the stage with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is. How you doing, my friend? You doing good?
I'm doing well. I spent a few days in Orlando. Got to check out the Disney theme parks, which I hadn't done in a long time. So that was cool that a friend of mine got his friends and family together for a weekend up there. And came back a little under the weather, but you muscle through that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. What'd you think of the Pro Day?
Yeah, I was actually checking in on Cam Ward's throws, all the video from the line at one of the rides over there. So that kept me consumed with the wait when you're in those long lines at the theme parks. But I think he did what you could do at a pro day, which it's not like that's ever going to surpass the importance of what he did on film and what he actually produced in his college career, especially this last season at Miami, which elevated him to that top quarterback talk, and then eventually this number 1 pick that everyone seems to almost unanimously believe that's what he should be. And he showed off his arm. He showed off his arm talent, the throws. He made them, connected with his receivers. So from that perspective, then he checked that off the list. That's all it was. It was check it off the list. He's already done the other stuff that should get him up there. And then I like that he showed a little bit of his attitude and his moxie when, of course, the big thing was how he went over to the Titans brass and told them, I'm solidifying it, that he should be the number 1 pick. I like that. I like that out of him.
Yeah. For me, I'm just hoping that Damian Martinez maybe becomes a Dolphin. I think Jalen Rivers could be an option for Miami since he plays tackle and guard, and he's a good player, and he'll probably be in the middle rounds somewhere, probably, 3rd round, 4th round, something like that. I looked at it from more of the Dolphin perspective of it, that there's a couple of guys there that could be picks for Miami. Cam Ward obviously is not even in the conversation. I don't even think Arroyo's in the conversation. Oh, did he? Okay. Well, right now he looks like a black bear in a dark room. He's back. Okay.
Did you hear me or what? Because you were like completely out.
I lost you somewhere along there. I think because I got a phone call. I switched over to the phone so I could get better connection, and then I got a phone call that threw me out of there, I guess.
Yes. So the way I looked at it more on the UN Pro Day was more about guys that could be interesting for the Miami Dolphins, like a Damian Martinez or a Jalen Rivers. That's the way I kind of looked at it, because the Cam Ward stuff is, yeah, it's fun, but it has nothing to do with the Dolphins.
Yeah, for sure. So Damian Martinez, I would love him as a power back. Now the Dolphins did sign Alexander Madison, who you believe that they have a short yardage role for him.
Yeah.
But obviously you could always bring in competition, and then, hey, even the year that the Dolphins brought in Sony Michel as a veteran, then he ended up not making the team. So you could always just bring in more competition, and then you let them duke it out for the roster spot and for that role. And, even Jalen Wright, obviously we expect him to contribute in year 2 as he gets deeper into the playbook and can now become more entrenched in this offense after the Dolphins did trade into the 4th round. They didn't even have a 4th round pick last year. That they actually used this year's 3rd round pick on him. So in reality, he is a 3rd rounder from that line of thinking. So you got to figure he's going to get a role. Jalen Rivers, I would also love. Just because of his versatility and just the lineman he has shown he can be, and that he will be available in those mid to late rounds. You never know once you start getting deeper into the draft. Some guys that you think are middle round draft picks, they could fall, and then, hey, if he's right there for you in your lap, especially if it's day 3 and he's sticking around, then go for it. I would love to see the Miami kid come through. And then even an Xavier Restrepo, which, the Dolphins did bring in Malik Washington last year, but now Braxton Berrios is gone. So you did have 2 of those slot receiver types. So you could still try to engage in some competition. But I know he's got a lot of places he could probably go. I know you're shaking your head, and
because they got the other kid, the Einheim kid, or whatever the hell his name is, the tall kid. They got him and Malik. Those are your slot guys, dude. You're done with slot. You're not.
Well, yeah, but Nick Westbrook, Akine, then you're going to use him different since he's got the size. You use him as more of a possession receiver, but Xavier Restrepo, even though he didn't, that 40 time was concerning, and his straight line speed obviously isn't what people want. And he released the tweet saying he felt a little tightness in I think it was his hamstring. He said that didn't let him open up on his stride as much. We've seen him do it live in games. And
he's a quick guy.
He's
a quick guy in space.
Yeah.
He's not a speed guy. He's not gonna outrun anybody. He's a route runner. So he'll be fine. He'll compete. Yeah. His real problem is that he's not a special teamer. And so he's not going to be a top 3 receiver in any NFL team. So he's going to be battling for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th spots on a wide receiver team. And if you're one of those, then you need to be a gunner, a returner. You need to do something on special teams. He does not excel on special teams. And so that's a problem for him. That's going to also hurt him in the draft. We talked about this a couple of days ago after he ran the 4.8, and everybody's freaking about the 4.8. And I'm trying to tell people it's really not about the 4.8. He'll be fine as a route runner. His problem is that if he's just a limited receiver and he's not really a dynamic, big-time receiver, then he needs to be a two-way player, and he has to help you in other areas. And that's where he doesn't help you. And especially at 4.8, you're not going to have him covering kicks.
Yeah. As a gunner, you need that straight line speed, because that's like the play where you are doing that the most. Like in practices, when guys are being tracked for their miles per hour, their speed as they're running in practice, the ones who pick up the most are actually the gunners, more so than even, the fastest skill players, because they're the ones that can pick up that much speed over the course of just running in a straight line for that long. So,
people were freaking out that he gained weight from the combine till now. And why do you, and this is a reason why I told people I think he gained weight, because he knows he has to play special teams. And wherever he gets drafted or picked or whatever,
he's going to have to, from that second on, they're going to try him on special teams, because since he's going to be a back end receiver, they need to know that he can do something else. As you know, dude, you cover the league. When you're a back end receiver or running back or tight end or offensive lineman, well, maybe not anymore, but all those positions, you got to have you got to be good at something else.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Any backup player in the NFL pretty much has to be able to contribute on special teams. Maybe there's some lineman who's just like an emergency player, and you have a better group of linemen that you could have on field goal protection and things like that he might be listed when you look at the box score in the end as a DMP. But everyone else, you got to be able to contribute, because you're not going to be active on game day if you're not doing special teams. That special teams coordinator has a lot of say in who makes the roster and who is active on game days, because if you're taking up one of those 47 or 48 spots on game day, or 53 on the roster, you need to be able to contribute something. Now, what does give me some hope with Xavier Restrepo is that, going back to, I covered him when he was in high school, at different high schools, at Monarch, at Deerfield Beach, St. Thomas Aquinas, and he was a two-way player who also was a DB for large parts of his high school career. So he's got some background in also playing on defense, making tackles. So as far as getting down there, and he could go make a tackle as a wide receiver, more so than maybe most who have probably just been wide receiver stars their whole career and just we're always solidified and now have to make it in the league as sort of a rotational backup receiver.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. It just to me, that's kind of the way I looked at it for the pro day. And again, I don't really care what happened on pro day anyway. I've seen enough of Damian Martinez. I've seen enough of Jalen Rivers to say, those are guys that I would take a flyer on. Restrepo is not a guy, not with Malik here, who's a better player than he is, actually, better athlete, and a very, very good football player, by the way. Malik is also a very good football player. But then the Icon kid, they got now. Will the head coach actually use him? That's a whole other, completely different case there. But overall, what are you looking at now? How are you looking at this Dolphin draft now? Still looking at guard or defensive tackle?
Yeah, I mean, I would love one of those top guys, top linemen who are probably a tackle in the long run, but can start off at guard, just because that's where the immediate need is. I think just get those best linemen in the building. We know Greer will like to go best player available, so I think if one of those, I'm looking at three in particular. I look at Armand Membu from Missouri, who now has kind of skyrocketed a little bit, which has me concerned he actually will be out of reach for the Dolphins.
That's my guy. That's the guy I want.
Yeah, it would be nice.
The guy I want.
It would be nice, but now I think the combine he had, excelling, just showing how athletic he is, which would be so incredible in the outside zone scheme. I think
what did he do at the combine? Because I don't really care, so I don't even know what he did at the combine. What did he do at the combine? Why is it so? What the hell can a lineman do at the combine?
Well, I got to look up the numbers again, but just he definitely excelled in all the on-field drills, and I mean that's kind of
40 and the 40, the bench press, all that crap. He did well.
Yeah, right. Showing the speed in the 40, but then also his 10-yard start was 10-yard split, which is what kind of they go by more with linemen.
Watch his ass maul people on film.
Oh yeah,
what you need to do.
Well, we know he does that too. That's the thing. So
that's what you got to watch, bro.
Yeah.
4.9 140. No wonder.
Here we go. I'm pulling up. 4.91 in the 40, which is great for a lineman when you're sub 5, and 1.74 10-yard split. I know we're splitting hairs, and I'm more like you. Like I prefer to see them play on the football field than basically run track, especially as a lineman. But ever since the combine, that's kind of what has boosted him into now. Okay, no longer thinking mid to late first round. Like now he's in possibly the top 10 with the Dolphins picking 13. But also,
and he can move. So that's the thing. That's the thing about him. And in this line, in this scheme, you want a guy that can actually move. So I'm with you there. Yeah,
That's what he should prove, that he moves. At 332 pounds, he moves well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the guy like Tyler Booker. Tyler Booker is actually like he's a mauler, but he's not he has to play in a phone booth. He probably doesn't fit what you do here. Like he's a good player, but in this scheme, Tyler Booker may not be a perfect fit. That's an example, in other words.
Right. That's why it was a little interesting when you first started seeing him in a mock draft and thinking, okay, well, yes, we know the Dolphins need a guard. That would be drafting by strictly just need, as opposed to would he truly be the best player available at that slot? And then I wouldn't think so, but then also just the scheme fit wouldn't exactly be there.
Not a scheme fit.
And then it was telling when I spoke to him at the combine, and then he mentioned he hadn't had any conversations with the Dolphins at all to that point. So when a lot of the other linemen that would make sense, like Membu, like Will Campbell from
that would be my second guy.
Yeah. Which
Will
now
Campbell would be my second guy there at that spot. Membu's my first, Campbell's my second. And again, nothing against Booker. If he lands in the right system, he might be just a terrific lineman for them. But in this scheme where you got to move around and pull, that's not what he does, dude. It's just not what he does. And if you take him and then force him to do that, that's your fault. Then that becomes your fault because now you're putting a player in a position to fail, and that's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see what happens. But I think they'll end up getting their guy. I think they'll end up getting either one of those guys. I think at 13.
Either one of those or Kelvin Banks out of Texas. I would also like.
That would be my third option. Okay, I could go with that. I can lean on Banks as my third option. I like that.
If two are gone, then go for him. So I don't think you would need to reach the point of Tyler Booker if you go offensive lineman. But then you could also go cornerback with Will Johnson out of Michigan if he was there, and there's been a run on linemen. So I think there's other ways you would go before you even think of Tyler Booker, which the mock draft seemed to have moved off of the Dolphins regarding him based on this line of thinking.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right. Looking at free agency, what are you hearing at all? Is there any movement going on? Because it seems like everything has shut down.
Yeah, I think now we reached the point in the offseason where you had that first wave of free agency. That was the first wave, right? We saw them all come in. It's the moves you saw made, and then I think now it's guys, teams getting out to pro days, starting to hone in on the draft. We're about to have the owners' meetings start of next week, so all the teams, coaches, owners. A lot of the general managers will be in Palm Beach, actually. It is this year. So Stephen Ross with the Dolphins, I think you usually have a big thing at his place with inviting all the Dolphins personnel that is at owners' meetings. And so you have that. That's a big collection of sort of that transitions you from that first wave of free agency. We're going to have media availability, so we'll hear from Mike McDaniel first time he speaks about all the moves. And then I think you have a break from all of that. It's hone in on the draft for the month of April, as we're now within a month of it starting. And then after you see what you get in the draft, and then what you get in the undrafted department, you really fill in that roster. Then the months where you have the workouts and eventually OTAs, maybe you start to see what you still need, and maybe you get a veteran signing. Maybe someone like Calais Campbell isn't making a decision until those later months into the late spring, early summer.
Coming back, bro.
Right, but I mean, just I'm saying that's a type of like decision that is made. That might be like the biggest type of thing is like a Calais Campbell when he did come last year. Maybe he makes the decision whether it's to go to Baltimore, which we feel is the more likely scenario, or he retires, whatever.
In the building, they're not in the building. They're prepared for him not to come back here.
Right. You got to be. Yeah. Teron Armstead will make a decision at some point, which same way prepared for him to prepare like you're not going to have him.
So I've been saying that obviously because you're on a hot seat situation, which clearly they have to be on a hot seat, unfortunately. You're not going to get the pick of the litter. Free agents aren't going to sacrifice themselves to come here. They're not going to sacrifice their bodies. They're not going to take less money. None of that's going to happen. So, and you've seen the end result. You aren't really getting the top tier free agents, and you're signing a lot of guys to 1-year deals. There's not a lot of guarantees in years forward, all that kind of stuff. We saw Reggie McKenzie. He left, and he left for a job that was a lateral job or a lesser job almost. And now we see Kendall Lamb, a guy that is better than any swing tackle you have on the team right now. Okay, I'd rather have Kendall Lamb than anybody you have right now at swing tackle. And yet he signs with Philadelphia, the world champions, a hell of a roster, the best GM in the business. I think there's a little bit of a stank that's around the team right now that it's pretty obvious that some people don't want to stick it through, and some people aren't willing to sacrifice or stay. Even a Javon Holland, who probably knew he wanted to move on. I don't think he wanted to come back here. I think there's a turn of the page here. There's a lot more of people not wanting to be a part of this.
Yeah, well, and so is life when you have a downfall season like you just came off of. So no longer is it the building up of, okay, well, as you get deeper into Mike McDaniel's era, can he climb like the way it went from 9-8 to 11-6 in the second playoff year, and then all of a sudden now you see a year on the decline, and then it's not looking as bright. When you just end of the 2023 season, you were 3 games up with 5 weeks remaining in the AFC East, and you say, okay, well, if that team would have just finished that off, they look at everything they could accomplish. And so it's no longer feeling that way, because then you're coming off a year where you weren't even in the AFC East contention, basically from the end of the third quarter of week 2 last year. You were already out of it, because that was when Tua got hurt and you were down 3 touchdowns against Buffalo at home. So it was clear from that point the Bills had the division. So yeah, it's a year where they're going to have to bounce back, and it's a hot seat season. And if it goes the same as last year, then yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that there is a new direction for the franchise, and you have to start brand new, because this era, which had so much expectations, when you built up a roster that's as talented on paper as you've had in multiple decades, and the most you got out of it is a couple of wild card road games in the playoffs that you lose, and you still don't get a playoff win, it'll be very disappointing.
Yep, I'm with you. By the way, Welton Rayum, you will not be disappointed, like a lot of our listeners over the last few years have called Welton Rayum and have had a lot of success. Listeners in Orlando, out on the West Coast, here in South Florida, 954-966-4646. Remember, the consultation is completely free, so you can call Jeff or Dan at any time. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call my guys. Go to the website, WRFLAlaw.com. Welton Rayum, 954-966-4646. All right. Rumor has it, it's Cincinnati and Miami in Spain. Is that the truth? What do you know? What are you going to tell us?
I don't know if that's the truth. We don't know yet, but I mean, that's certainly that would be a hot matchup to get Joe Burrow out there too. I mean, I've also thought of Washington Commanders, if it's because that's a home game for the Dolphins. If it's Jaden Daniels, Washington coming off the NFC Championship game appearance that they made. So yeah, those are two that I'm kind of looking at as matchups they would want to have in Spain. But yeah, actually, this is the first time I'm hearing it. So where were the rumors coming out on this?
I don't know. Where was that from? It was last week, right? That came out last week. Was somebody put out the rumor that it's Cincinnati, Miami in España. November 16. They even put out a date and everything. So I don't know if there's any truth to it. So that's why I wanted to ask you if you've heard anything on that, because that's actually like we're actually giving Spain a decent game. Then that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. And I know in Spain they've sort of narrowed down which date it could be, and that sounds like what they were kind of thinking. I remember from talking to some Dolphins podcasters in Spain, and they were mixing together quotes from political officials who had sort of hinted at it with certain answers, and then also the schedule, the soccer schedule over there for the stadium sort of indicated where they can narrow it down to that. So I think
Apparently, by the way, it was the mayor of which town of Madrid accidentally leaked it.
right. I think that's what I was hearing from those in Spain. Yeah, that right. That when you combine it with the soccer schedule, then it's kind of like that's when how they can narrow it down. And then but as far as but did he mention Cincinnati?
Yeah, apparently he leaked it out.
Okay. Yeah.
He mentioned it. So yeah.
Wow.
And the date and everything. So it was that's where the rumor came out of, a leak from the mayor of Madrid. So, and he probably, out of all people, he might be one of the few people that actually really knows the date and what's going on. So, because
he would know.
Yeah, he would probably have to know, since his town has to get prepared for it. So yeah, it's crazy shit. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Yeah, while I was away, there were a bunch of interviews with all the new free agents, so I'm catching up on those. Writing Fatu Melifonwu today, so I'll get something posted shortly here on him. And I still got to figure out what I'm going to write the rest of the week as I'm just getting back. But keep checking on sunsentinel.com. And then next week we get into owners meetings. So Mike McDaniel will speak for the first time since all these free agent signings.
Great. I can't wait to read your article. It'll say ahs, ahs, ahs. Lots of those. All right. Awesome.
I cleaned up the quotes there.
Yeah. Just quote. Yeah. Just you could put out the quotes already right now. Ahs, ahs. And that's it. And you're home free. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ catches and ahs there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
Yes, sir.
You got it. There you go, David Furones with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
This has been another session of the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones. At Welt and Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welt and Rayom can help.
All right. By the way, just to have a little fun, let's see. For Ariel Saravia, he put the USL Fort Lauderdale United men's soccer team coming soon, right? He put that, right? So all you guys, just so you'll know, I was sitting with their coach yesterday. I can't tell you who the head coach is going to be. All I can tell you is I know him. That's it. And by the way, I knew him before they introduced me to him yesterday and said, hey, this is going to be our new men's coach. You know, I knew about the men's team before they announced it. I knew about the pro rel stuff before they announced it, all that stuff. And yesterday I met the men's coach. I already know who the men's coach is for the USL team. So it's funny. So we had a really good conversation, he and I, yesterday, because I've covered him in the past, because he's a former player. That's all I can tell you. I'm not going to say anymore because it's not my place to announce who is the men's head coach on the USL. It's not my place. I get the information. Sometimes I have information. I just got to sit on it and can't do anything with it. You know what I mean? But it's funny you mentioned, I forgot to, when you mentioned the USL men's team coming, I'm like sitting with the head coach last night. So, and he'll be on the show soon, by the way. He'll be on the show soon. Have a little fun. Anyway, so good shit. And we appreciate David Furones out there. Thank you all out there. Don't forget, you can make a donation, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. You can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. We will read them. We will share them. So I appreciate you all out there as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why don't we get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the great Alan Blanco. Remember, if your company, your corporation, your school, you need custom printing and embroidery, shirts or hats or uniforms, or maybe just T-shirts for a picnic or a travel get-together or something like that, call 3A Graphics, and they will help you out. Alan Blanco, that's his personal cell number, 786-618-1443. Anywhere in the country, you can call 3A Graphics and get it done. The Heat last night, they got it done last night, man. They handed Jimmy Butler a 112-86 loss. Butler choked his way to 5 of 12 shooting, 0 of 2 from three-point range for 11 points in a loss. Bam led the way with 27 points. Tyler added 20. Next up is Atlanta on Thursday at 7:30. Congratulations to Nova Southeastern. They make it to the Final Four with their win in the Elite Eight against Assumption University, 102-93. Tyler Eberhardt, 24 points and 5 rebounds. Dallas Graziani added 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. And MJ Araldi, 22 points and 8 rebounds, while Riker Scissorick added 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists in the win. Thursday, 9:30 is the Final Four against the 5th-ranked team in the country, the 4th seed in the tournament, Washburn University. Go Sharks. Friday at Amarant Bank, it is Utah visiting the Florida Panthers. Saturday, April 5th, that'll be 2 weeks from now. Fort Lauderdale United is off this week. Next Saturday, they will visit Tampa Bay Sun FC at Riverfront Stadium at 7 o'clock. And this Saturday, March 29th, Inter Miami, tied for number 2 in the Eastern Conference. They are taking on the number 1 seed, Philadelphia. All right, Philadelphia's got 12 points, but they've played 5 games. Miami has played 4, so Miami has a game in hand. And so they're tied for second place with 10 points. Charlotte, Nashville, Chicago, and Miami all have 10 points. Now, all those teams have played 5 games. Miami has only played 4, so they've got a game in hand. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. If Miami can beat Philadelphia, they would have first place in the Eastern Conference, which would be a beautiful thing. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Oh, and by the way, Russell Wilson did sign a 1-year, $21 million deal with the New York Giants. $10.5 million of it is guaranteed. Yep. And Damian Lillard with deep vein thrombosis, which is what ended Chris Bosh's career, which is what ended Wemby's season. It's kind of weird that 2 players picked that up this year.
I mean, because was he coming off an injury or anything?
I don't know.
That's the only thing it's
weird.
That's odd to me.
It's weird because it's like, okay, I don't remember hearing a lot about this in the past.
Yeah.
You know, look at all the Tommy John surgeries you have in baseball now.
Don't become a rite of passage in a way, though. Some players want to get hurt earlier because now it seems like you come back better after Tommy John.
Okay, so what happened to all that when we were kids?
Oh, it was I mean,
Very
injuries injured.
They wouldn't get nearly as, and they pitched more.
Yeah. Yep. But also,
so we're building fragile athletes who break down more often. It's funny how they say, well, you know, the wear and tear and this and that. Well, it apparently you guys used to be able to handle more wear and tear. The flights weren't as good. The hotels weren't as good. The food wasn't as good. The training wasn't as good. And yet the athlete isn't as durable. It's weird, isn't it? How can you have better training, better medicine, better everything, better beds, and the athlete is not as durable. What are we doing medically that we're putting people at risk? How is it that you're developing deep vein thrombosis? How is it that you have more Tommy John surgeries now than you ever had? I think I just heard a stat that it's like in the last 24 months or 20 months or something, you've had more Tommy John surgeries dating back all the way to when Tommy John had a surgery. All those years combined.
Probably, yeah, because I know the other day I go to my nephew's baseball game. Well, it was a year ago actually, because he was younger, and they're throwing curveballs already. I used to remember when I was brought up, it was straight fastballs, and then I threw a palm ball, but you couldn't throw any rotation until you got at like 13, 14 was when coaches started saying, okay, now you can start. Now it's just everybody's throwing everything now.
We're not even building arm strength up, man.
No.
Because we build up specialists.
Yes.
You only last 5-6 innings.
Yeah.
That's not how it used to be. And so it's just kind of, it's really weird how everything has gotten better, but the athlete is also better, but he or she is not more durable. Strange, isn't it? There's a disconnect somewhere in the eating, in the training, or something. And again, I've mentioned this before in the past, like when Nolan Ryan tried to do it in Texas, they even got to the World Series. His pitchers were being trained to be able to, last longer and throw more, have more endurance. And that's, part of it. Nolan was built like a horse. So when you have the big foundation, big thighs, when you have that foundation. Now, if you're a tall, skinny guy like Ramon, not Ramon, what's his name? The guy for the Red Sox for many years. Yeah, it was Ramon. Or is Ramon Martinez? You put so much torture on your body with that torque and everything to get that speed out. Not when you have a foundation, your thighs are as thick as a quarter horse. That's when you're going to be able to just rip it, and you're going to be able to last a lot longer. There's some disconnect somewhere, dude, because that's weird, bro.
In 2024, this is baseball. I don't have the thing,
Okay.
but Major League Baseball starting pitchers averaged 5.22 innings pitched per game, which was down from, of course, 10 years ago and even more from 40 years ago. They averaged only 86.2 pitches per start.
What'd they average 40 years ago? Now they didn't throw as hard.
True.
So that helps. Learn to pitch. It is called pitching, isn't it? Just like I love the people that pick on Floyd Mayweather. Oh, he's boring. No, dude, he's a boxer. Like Floyd Mayweather actually understood the sport. Hit, not be hit. That's what boxing is. Stick and move. That's actually what you're supposed to do, not just stand there and slug it out. That's really not boxing. That's just fighting. So there's pitching, and that's why Greg Maddux lasted 20 years in the middle of the steroid era. In the middle of the steroid era, the guy is striking you out with an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. That's because you think it's going here, and then it goes there. All of a sudden, it dropped. It curved down. It curved in. Like, whoa. Whoa, that guy's 4'10", and he's throwing 84 miles an hour, and I can't hit him. Oh, that's because he's a pitcher. What a concept, pitching. What a concept, boxing. Sometimes that's why I admire, I know at times he can get off the rails a little bit, but Tyson Fury, for a big guy, he has the boxing skills, you know, and I commend him for that because that's really what the sport is supposed to be.
Yes, since 1980, by the way, it dropped an inning and a half almost average.
Easy, yeah.
And since 2000, it's dropped a full inning. So just to kind of
Yeah, it's just we are developing specialists. That's all we're doing. Diggs signed with the Patriots, so that means he's playing against his former team twice. Yep. Let's see. Membu would be long gone by 13, sadly. Probably right. Hope not, but probably right. I love that kid. Let's see. McDaniel even uses ums when he sneezes. Chew. The least informed person for American football turned out to be the leak. What else? Nutrition, maybe too much processed food. I don't know what it is, Jafard, but something is going on. Something is going on. Emilio says, I've had several patients with blood clots from testosterone therapy. See, Emilio, you're a lot smarter than I am, but all I know is it's just kind of odd. It's just kind of odd. And one thing I've noticed too is that athletes aren't nearly as durable. They just aren't, man. And it's weird considering everything is there. But again, testosterone therapy, you might be right. Or whatever they're doing right, exactly, to, improve themselves, that it's also hurting them in the process. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But I know it stands out. It's so obvious. I remember when a guy rushed to the mound to fight Nolan Ryan. Let's just say it didn't go well. Yeah, that was God, don't tell me. He played for the White Sox. He dude, doesn't he have Miami ties? He played for the Canes. No, I know the name, and he got his ass kicked. Oh God. Hold on, I'm trying to remember it on my own, bro. Remembering every stupid little thing, like the Pittman thing I had to remember today. God, he played for the Canes, bro. Played for the Canes. I'm trying to remember his stupid ass because he is a dumbass for going after Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan put him in that headlock, and I'm just picturing it all. I'm just like, and I don't even want to look down on the chat board because I know one of you son of a bitches got it for me because you guys are awesome. You're the best. I can tell you one word and you'll nail it. God, I'm so pissed that I don't want a clue. I see his face, bro. He has a mustache. I see his face before and after, and I made fun of him and everything because it was just stupid. All right, give me the hint. I'm taking up too much time. Oh, Robin Ventura. Shit. And there it is, Brett Dodger, Robin Ventura. Yeah, and Lenny Pena. Yeah, I didn't want to look down. No, I didn't want to. Damn it, Rob. How can I forget Robin Ventura? Stupid. Damn it. Anyway, so yeah, that didn't end well for Robin Ventura. That was ugly for him. That was definitely ugly for him. I'm with you there. Let's do a little music and entertainment news that we like doing on the show here. Let's see. Let's start off with musicians born on this date. Let's see. Here we go. All right. All right, let's start it off here with let's go with Kenny Chesney, country singer, born in 68 on this date. Who else celebrating a birthday today? William Lyle, keyboardist for the Bay City Rollers in 53. Teddy Pendergrass was born in this date in 1950. Vicki Lawrence, actress, comedian, born in 49 on this date. Frank Sheehan, bassist for Boston, born in 49 on this date. Steven Tyler, lead singer for Aerosmith, born in 48 on this date. Richard Tandy, keyboardist with ELO, born in 48. The great Diana Ross, the boss, born in 44 on this date. That's it for musicians. Now let's go with famous people that were also born on this date. Whoa. That one wrong or what? Here we go. Let me fix that. All right. Now we've got it. All right. We start off with Martin Short is 75 today. Keira Knightley is 40 today. Who else celebrating birthdays today? T.R. Knight, TV actor, is 52. Lucas Bravo, actor, 37. Leonard Nimoy, Dr. Spock, was born on this date in 31. We lost him in 2015. Nancy Pelosi is 85 today. Probably making another purchase of stocks. Juvenile is 50, the rapper. Jennifer Grey, she is 65. Damn, I'm old. Jennifer Grey is 65 years old. Holy crap. Von Miller is 36. Paige Spiranek, one of our favorites, says Instagram star. It's one of the few that I know, Paige Spiranek, for all the right reasons. She is 32. John Stockton, who is maybe one of the biggest lowlifes I've ever met in my life, 63 years old. That is famous people celebrating birthdays. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Jarius J.J. Robertson. He is a super fan who received the Warrior Award in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2018, turns 23. Mike Mondo turns 42. Another Paige Van Zant, is 31. Savon Granair is 48. Vero Rodriguez is 38. Those are your birthdays for March 26th, 2025.
All right. I like that. By the way, couple of things for you. Sting's coming November 7th to the Hard Rock Live. Ghost is coming to the Kaseya Center July 13th. Blue Oyster Cult, whatever's left, March 28th at the Hard Rock Live. What else do I have here going on? All right, let me get to. Do we have here music history or what? Page is gone. Man, that's weird. That's weird. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to do music history because it is a dead link at this point in time. By the way, they are going to come up with the Rockers have gotten together to come up with a Triumph album. Anybody is a big Triumph fan out there? It's called Magic Power All-Star Tribute to Triumph. Sebastian Bach is in it. Nancy Wilson is in it. Joey Belladonna from Anthrax. Styx. Lawrence Gowan. Guns N' Roses Slash. Night Rangers Jack Blades. Tesla singer Jeff Keith. Rush founder Alex Lifeson. pretty cool. They're going to release it on June 6th, actually. Sebastian Bach is singing Rock and Roll Machine. Joey Belladonna is singing Magic Power. Mickey Thomas is singing Spellbound. Dee Snider is singing Lay It on the Line. Dean Castronovo is singing Never Surrender. Jeff Keith is singing Hold On. Nancy Wilson is singing Fight the Good Fight. Jack Blades, great song, Follow Your Heart. Just really, really cool, man. Really, really cool. I love Triumph. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what happens there and how that sounds. That's pretty cool. I got to see them in concert. I wish I would have been able to see them a few more times, man. Love Triumph. See what we got here on the chat board. Let's see. Remember, athletes used to take a handful of pain pills from the big old bucket in the locker room. Yeah, but they still do. They still have painkillers and stuff like that. They still have it. You know, it's just something's weird nowadays. Something's weird. Rosendo, happy birthday to John Stockton, Marcus Allen, Bob Woodward, James Kahn. Did not see those. Sandra Day O'Connor. General Westmoreland, Tennessee Williams, Robert Frost. Some pretty good names there that weren't on that list. I will always think of Brian's song when I see James Caan's name. Yeah. And right. And The Godfather, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Brett, that Rick Emmett is an underrated guitarist. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I would definitely agree with that. What else do we have going on? So Russell Wilson signs with the Giants. That's like watching Zach Wilson sign with the Dolphins. There's no way you can get inspired about that, right?
Well, I think the question is, like, what are the Giants doing? You signed Jameis Winston. Now you sign Russell Wilson.
Right.
They've got a high draft pick. So does that mean
they must not be convinced with the players that are there? Clearly.
But wouldn't they be in line?
Because you'd only sign one of those two guys if you're drafting a young quarterback.
Wouldn't they be in line to get Shador?
Yeah, but that's my point. They obviously are not enamored with Shador because if you're going to get Shador, then you're only signing one of those two guys.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're signing both, then you are. This is the direction you're going in at quarterback. What they may do is take the Syracuse kid in the middle rounds,
get a lower, and then hopefully he hits.
Right, because it's
Brock
not
Purdy-ish.
Yeah, you take him in the third, fourth rounds, and then all of a sudden you got a kid that's got the arm, he's got the intelligence, the accuracy. Now, will he be able to translate to the next level? That's what you don't know. That's what I would do if I'm the Dolphins. I would draft him in the middle rounds because I think he'll go in the third or fourth round. You know, so that maybe you do something like that. But you're not taking Shador Sanders if you're signing both Russell and Winston.
Yeah, no, I don't.
That tells me you have made your bed and that's it. You're done with that. So you're going to surround them with as much as possible to try to win.
I know. I think it was, I want to say it was Dougie sent out a tweet that he thought the Giants would trade down to the Raiders and the Raiders would move up and draft Shador. And then the Giants would draft.
That would make sense.
Their way there with the way.
That would make sense.
I can't remember if that was before the Russell Wilson signing or when. I just remember seeing, and it was like, he's like, mark my words, the Raiders trade up with the Giants.
And there's a part of me that, you know, because they say Shador's value is dropping or whatever, all this. I don't get any of it. But I also wonder if Dion and Shador are kind of doing this on purpose so they end up in a better team. It's not so much, that I get more money because I'm a higher pick. The guy's got money already. He doesn't give a shit. He comes from money. Plus, he's made a ton of his own money now with NIL. So to him to be the first, second, or seventh or 10th pick, he doesn't care. And I think with Dion having the experience, he's like, yeah, it's not about that. It's about landing on the right team, the right organization. And so who knows? Who knows? But again, I know it's blasphemous to say it here. I like Cam a lot. He's got the skill set to play at the next level. I still think Shador is the better passer. So I'm just going to be very intrigued to see how both their careers, develop. Obviously, it's going to be very important where they land, how they are handled, and all that. That helps your success. But I want to see overall because I just feel like Shador is the one that's going to translate better to the next level. That's just me.
And then if he does go to the Raiders, you're going to be able to get coached up by TB. At least you'll get to.
Yeah, you at least have his number.
Yeah, you'll have some bounce off of.
Definitely.
I mean,
and I'm sure he's going to be calling you.
I'm more than.
I'm sure he's going to be calling you and telling you, "Hey, great job," and "Hey, do this or don't do that," or whatever, and giving you some kind of constructive criticism.
And it's a guy that you want to listen to.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean,
been there, done that.
7 rings. You better listen to 7 rings. I mean, 7 rings, bro. Like, there's nobody on the planet that's walking around with 7 rings unless, you're J-Lo or something. You've been married 7 times. Then you have 7 rings. So Sweet Baby Ray with Robin Ventura now. I like it. He's the best. He's good. He's a good dude. Oh, God. By the way, they say Ozzy in his farewell tour could be playing on a flying throne. He could be singing on a flying throne. If he does that, that's all Sharon Osbourne. She's always been kind of like the genius behind Ozzy. And she does this. She's just pulling it off. And God bless her, dude. Considering how bad Ozzy was to her and banging the maid and having a kid with a maid and, all that other stuff and just crazy stuff that he's done over the years. And she stuck with him and through everything. And on top of all that, she's helped him in his career, on the business side, because obviously she has a brain. He doesn't. And so it's amazing. And if they have him on a flying throne or something, and by the way, throughout his whole career, the amount of musicians that have been tied to him, all the great guitarists that have come and gone through there, and guitarists that have been able to build their names through Ozzy to then establish themselves. And Sharon deserves all the credit in the world. And I read this story that Ozzy might be playing on a flying throne. I thought that was just absolutely funny, dude. And again, I thought of Sharon right away because
she's scared of heights.
Who? Ozzy?
Yeah.
He can't move anyways at this point.
That's true, but I'm just
he's just gonna be strapped down.
This also could just be Sharon getting back at him, like, "Hey,
no,
you're scared of heights. We're gonna put you on a throne. You're gonna."
She could have put his ass 6 feet under a long time
true,
ago by now. You know what I mean? But it's not like she needs the money because I'm sure they've got plenty of money. They made plenty of money over the years from the music and the TV shows and all that. Yeah, royalties. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So it's just crazy shit, dude. So I would imagine, but she has, considering all the crazy stuff he's done to her, she's been a damn good woman to him, dude. More than he deserves. Okay? Kind of like my wife and me. More than I deserve. That's for damn sure, dude. That woman saved my life the other day, bro. My wife saved my life the other day. Okay? That's messed up, bro. That's just like, It's not as bad what Ozzy's done than George Lopez. You don't know about George Lopez? His wife gave him one of her kidneys, and then he divorced her. Yeah. Yeah, it was a while ago. But just think about that. Just think about that. Just like, you make a commitment to somebody, and the person is so committed to you that they give you, a kidney, and then you reward them by saying, F you, I'm out of here. So whatever Ozzy's done, it's not that bad either compared to.
California, you don't get half of what belongs to you.
Oh
take
no,
like
you
half a
get
kidney back.
well, yeah, it's yeah. Did they do it in California?
In
I
the
don't know. I
divorce.
should say that. But yeah, like the woman gives you a kidney and you just you reward her with a divorce. Thanks for giving me life again. I'm out of here. See you later, baby. She gave Lopez the wrong kidney. Can't blame him. Yeah. Oh God, it's crazy. Well, hey, even if the kidney has a stone in it, you're still take it. 'Cause the one you got ain't working. So, all you got to do is pass that stone. It's not easy because I've done that twice. Passing stones. Oh my God. Oh man. I remember I was in the middle of driving when one was just, you could tell it was in the canal. And it was just like, it's just like if somebody got like a knife right in your back. I don't know what it's like to be stabbed by a knife, but I can guarantee you that it must feel like a kidney stone because that's what it felt like. It was like I was driving. I'm like, oh, it's like, oh man, it is brutal, dude. Brutal. Driving with a kidney stone stabbing you. Oh. Yeah, that's not fun, bro. That's not fun. So, didn't Riles do the same thing to the Knicks? No. He wanted control. They said no, and he said, "See you later." Parcells wanted to shop for the groceries. They said no. He said, "See you later." That's all it was. Now, if you're talking Belichick, who was hired and then wrote on a napkin, no thanks, I'm out of here. That's different. But Riley had built up the Knicks to the point where they were making to a finals, and he wanted, I think it was Ernie Grunfeld, I want to say, and Dave Checketts. Knick fans out there, can you correct me if I'm wrong or something? But I think those guys were in charge, and then they wanted to stay in charge. And Riley wanted to have personnel say. And that's what Miami was willing to do, what the Knicks weren't willing to do. How did that work out? So, yeah, I think it's different. Yeah.
Well, no, I think he was answering from, I guess Pat Nash wrote, Phil Collins faxed his wife to let her know they were getting a divorce.
Oh, he did?
LOL. And then Rosendo responded, didn't Riles do the same thing to the Knicks with the fax?
Yeah, no, but the facts are that there's a reason why he told them to go F themselves, is my point. Riley was entitled to tell him F yourself. Bro, I'm building your organization up. By the way, did the Knicks ever get back to that? Nope. Since Riley left, Jeff Van Gundy took over, and that was the culture that was Riley in place. But it died out. And then Jeff was gone. And the culture was gone because who was gone? Riley was gone. So the culture was gone. So then it comes here, and now we've had it for a quarter century. So the Riley thing is not a good example. Parcells and Riley are the same dudes. They wanted control. Ownership told them no. And they said, okay, I'll go somewhere where they give me control. And that's it. And that's what's happened. So I don't blame those gentlemen. They earned the right to say, I want control. And then Riley proved that he deserved control, right? Because I think we've been pretty good compared to the Knicks. We're the greatest franchise in the history of the game compared to the Knicks. I'm just saying. So not the same. Not the same. Let's see. Smoke signals is a better way to obviously call it a day. All right, folks, we are going to call it a show. We appreciate all of you out there. As always, we thank all the great people out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Thank my guy Juan Carbonell for joining us. And again, if you're looking for a Subaru, you can ask Juan, and he'll be out here like all the great associates that are out here at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. We'll be out here next month. final Wednesday of the month, as always. Appreciate all of you out there. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley. If you made a donation, if you sent in a super chat, hit the like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting the show. However it is, you can support the show or make a donation to our trip to Spain. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Use the QR codes there. We shall see you tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow we're at Hialeah Park Casino, and we'll be on at 3 o'clock. Friday, we are at Acura, right? We're at Acura Pembroke Pines, wrapping up the month. So we'll be across the street, actually, on Friday. So appreciate all of you out there. See you tomorrow. Be good.